They'll go off basically all morning until she gets up, which is typically up to 40 minutes after the actual alarm.
No.
This would drive me crazy.
I give it like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And then I'll be like, okay.
You're up.
Like,
you're up.
Yeah. You're up. I'm up.
I have a hard time going back to sleep when I'm woken up, so I've spent a lot of mornings just lying in bed until I actually have to get up. Safe to say, we're still friends, but we are not living together again next year. That is so fair. And Eternal Octopi says, this is gross and weird. I became disabled and was between work and gaining disability, so literally zero income. A friend volunteered to move in with me without asking, and I was in no position to say no. I made her a deal so that instead of paying rent, she paid the utilities I could no longer afford. I live in an extremely affordable area, and my landlady at the time pretty much just charged me upkeep of the house and property as well as utilities to stay there. The only utilities are water and electric, which are rarely over $200 combined. My neurological symptoms were completely wild and uncontrolled then. Seizures, constant dizziness, nausea, vertigo, severe migraines, speech impediment, light, sound, and temperature sensitivity. The list goes on and on. Bending over could trigger an episode. Heck, a computer screen could. Worse, the wrong kind of lighting could. Grocery stores become a living nightmare. If I moved slowly and kept the house under the perfect conditions, I could remain fairly useful and keep the house so clean. However, if I had an attack, I would be screwed for days at a time, often bedbound while I recovered. The friend, well, she never ever cleaned. Ever. The only two things she was really in charge of cleaning were her room and the cat box. She never properly cleaned either. There was a period where I couldn't bend or pull to change the box at all, and by the time I was able to tackle it, I literally had to cut the floor under it out and throw it away all the way down to the subfloor. Yeah, it was that bad. And I had to do it on my hands and knees while trying not to be sick, unsure if it was my body or the situation making me ill. I did eventually punt her out, and when I saw her room, finally, I tried to clean it and couldn't. It was too disgusting to clean on my own. Apparently, the cats used her room as the cat box during that awful time, and she never cleaned it. Plus, she had trash and rotted food in piles along with things she'd left behind. No good deed goes unpunished, I guess.
Oh, good deed!
Yeah,
no
OP. The thing is, if someone just says, I'm moving in with you, you can say no. And the second thing is, if someone destroys that place that you're living in, then you charge them a cleaning fee. And you say, hey, you destroyed the place that I'm living in, and you can't do that. So figure that out. I don't know. But we've got another story from awesome Ashley, 1985. And here's the gross, icky story we were promised.
Nasty